Hey everybody, I'm Vince Gill. You're watching Fender Vision. Check it out. It's good stuff. Music spoke to me from the day I was born, it seemed like. You know, I always wanted to have a guitar around, or beating on one, or carrying it around, or playing records. It never stopped. You know, there's never been a period when I wasn't just completely eaten up with music. My dad played a little bit, my mom played a little bit, and they were always encouraging of me to push on. They weren't, when are you gonna, you know, quit being an idiot and get a real job. First time I saw a Fender Telecaster was Buck Owens playing one, and Don Rich probably playing one, and I was a young kid and loving country music and what they did. I saw Waylon as a real young man open a show for Chet Atkins, and he always played a Telecaster. The Ricky Nelson stuff was, you know, I think he played a red Telecaster or something on those shows, and then you saw him with Elvis, and it was the Paisley Telecaster. It was a pretty predominant instrument in country music, you know, and because it was twangy, you know, it had that good bite to it. And Albert Lee, James Burton, those guys were the ones that, as I moved out here to the West Coast and started to meet some of these people and spend time with them, and then I was drawn to that instrument. And I bought a 53 Telecaster in 1980. I was lucky to get it. There was a buddy of mine named Bob Woods who had an old-timey music store in Del City, Oklahoma. I was back visiting my folks, and him and a fella named Larry Briggs did a big guitar trade. I think there was about 20, 25 guitars that I'll trade you these 10 for these 15, you know, or something like that. And I watched this trade go down, and then I saw that one go by, and before he could kind of get a grasp on what he got, you know, in this big trade, I go, hey, what do you want? What do you want for that old Telecaster? Oh, $450. I said, I'll take it, you know. And every time I saw him until the day he died, and he'd look at me, he goes, you got to me on that Telecaster. You got such a good deal. I said, well, I've made it worth it, haven't I? You can take 10, 53, 52, whatever year you want, and go plug them in side by side with that one that I've played forever. And there's something about my hands and that instrument that only sound like that one. I'm building a studio in the house, and I like to design. I like to monkey with stuff and take walls out and pick this out, and I didn't like the material on the walls of the studio, and I just was thinking it didn't look good. And I was carrying this old tweed amp into the room, and I looked at it, and I looked at the coloring in the room, and I said, what would be cool is if you could do the walls with this old Fender tweed, you know. So I called my buddy. I said, hey, is there any chance we can get any of that tweed? And he goes, yeah, we'll get you all that you want, you know. And we learned how to, you know, shellac it and amber it so it'd take on that old kind of leathery golden tone that it has, you know. And so the whole studio is, all the walls are tweed, and then the ceiling is the grill cloth. So it looks like you're in a giant amplifier. I'm going to start in a few weeks on a new record, and my studio will be done at the house, and it'll be real interesting to be able to experiment, take my time, and just do what I want, and not feel the pressure of the daily rate of a studio. And got some neat songs, and curious to see what they turn into. Hey everybody, it's Vince. Enjoyed being with you here on Fender Vision. We'll see you down the road somewhere soon. Bye-bye.